welcome to Not Made. My name is Rachel and today is day 10 of Vlogmas and the advent calendar by All From Jade. So let's go check out what today's make is. Okay, so as you saw, today's make is Lorelei the Dragonfly, and that is a pattern, a no-sew pattern by Crochet on Instagram. I'm not going to be making that pattern today. I think it's super cute, and I may make it in the future for a spring market because I feel like if you did embroidery eyes, this would be a really great pattern for little ones. So I would like to try it at some point. It's not going to happen today, however, because I have some other stuff going on. Tomorrow, no, Friday is my market. Today is Wednesday. Today is a concert my students are putting on for our local senior center. So that is foremost in my mind at this moment. But I decided for Vlogmas today, I'm just going to take you along as I crochet one of the Critterlings from the Critterlings pattern pack by Poggy's Place. It's a penguin, and it's going to be a little bit of a story time, and you can also see my kind of wonky crochet style if you notice those things. But yeah, I have a story about this pattern, so let's get into that, and then we will pick up the advent calendar again tomorrow. I finally got this little pencil case to haul around my little notions, which helps a lot with keeping myself kind of organized. I can't believe I've waited this long, and it's no wonder I've lost so many needles. Alright, so before we get into the pattern too much, or actually the story behind the pattern, let me just say that I do the magic ring, quote unquote, differently. I don't do the magic ring, and I don't do the chain 2 method either. Actually, what I do is I chain 3 and then I slip stitch back into the first chain to create a tiny little loop, and then I do work all of my stitches into that loop rather than having a magic ring. The main reason being that I watched a video one time where somebody had created this amazing granny square blanket using, of course, the magic ring, and then they washed it after they had joined it all together, and a bunch of the magic rings popped, and it was just so sad. I can't even imagine. It just doesn't seem very secure to me. So this is the method that I came up with, that I use. So that's that. And one more aside before I really get into the story is black yarn. First off, I just don't like using it. I can't see it. The stitches are nearly invisible to me, and I don't really crochet without looking, so I ended up having to frog this entire round with the color changes and everything because I missed a stitch. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of black yarn, but sometimes you just have to, you know? I mean, you're making a penguin. What else are you gonna use? Actually, I use quite a few other colors. I'll show you at the end. All right, now on to the story behind this penguin pattern. So this is a pattern from Poggy's Place. She has several little, what she's calling Critterlings patterns, which I think are just itty-bitty versions of her bigger critter patterns. I'm not really sure. I didn't look at all of the stuff she had on Etsy, but I was definitely interested in these Critterlings, mainly because I'm looking for new patterns that are small, easy to work up, and can work for a $5 bin at a market, because I feel like having something on the low end of the price range really helps bring people into the booth. So I'm hoping that it pays off in the end, but regardless, it's been so fun to make all of these little Critterlings. So I bought her Critterlings pattern pack, and I can't remember how many patterns. I think it's 30. Maybe that's not right. I don't know. It's a bunch of itty bitty little Critterlings. And then I also bought her Christmas pack because I just needed it. So I have quite a few Critterlings packed. Well, I was thinking, man, she should have a penguin. And then I was seeing people post pictures of Critterlings as penguins. And I thought, oh, well, they must just be modifying the like chick pattern or the chicken pattern or something, because I could not find a penguin pattern in the pattern pack that I had. So I did that. I modified the chicken pattern and just added some color change where I thought, oh, okay, this will work for a penguin. And then I sent the picture to Kelly. She's the creator behind Poggy's Place. And she was like, there's a penguin pattern already in the pattern pack. I'm pretty sure you have it. And I'm like, I can't find it anywhere. And so she sent me a screenshot of where the penguin is in the pattern pack. And the pattern pack is so big, it comes in separate sections. So there was the pack 1 who had, I don't know, a few of the Critterlings in it, and then there was pack 2. Well, what I neglected to realize was that there was a pack 3 of the Critterlings pack, and I never even downloaded it from Etsy, which is just totally crazy that I just missed it. That's insane. So I'm really glad that I sent that picture to her, because I was like, it's full of other patterns that I didn't even know I had. So I'm gonna have to do a pattern review on all of the Critterlings and just put that out there, because I've got it, like why not? And now I actually have the full pack. So anyway, this fun little penguin is in the 3rd pack of the Critterlings pack. So I've got it, and it's just so much easier to follow the pattern than to try to, modify an existing pattern into something else. So that was my funny story behind this little penguin, and I just thought it was too funny not to share. So as I'm working up this little penguin, I am using, I've sped this video up so you guys aren't just sitting there boringly watching me crochet, but I did want to kind of show how I crochet. You can see probably, if you're a crocheter, you're looking at the way I'm holding my hook and my yarn and everything else and probably thinking, what in the world is this woman doing? And that's a valid question because I'm a self-taught crocheter. I taught myself way back a long time ago, over 20 years, with a book that I picked up from Walmart. So, and all I had to go off of was the illustrations that are in the book. And if you think following a YouTube tutorial is difficult, try following just some kind of random illustration graphic thing with like little arrows pointing at various points. I picked up the How to Crochet book, and I picked up a Mile a Minute Afghan book. And right here when I'm attaching the yellow, this is normal time. I just wanted to kind of show you, this is the first foot, but basically my speed here. When I finished this Critterling, my video on the phone said 28 minutes, and I know part of that was because I was going slower with the black yarn. I had to frog that whole round 2 and start over, so it's not an accurate time, but I'm always saying that I crochet slowly, and I need to stop saying that because I think crochet is just a slow art anyway, and it just takes as long as it takes. So I'm not going to be one of those people who can crochet without looking or crochet a mile a minute, regardless of what that book said that I picked up. But that's how I learned. I learned just kind of by myself, learning the stitches and following patterns. Well, obviously my technique is really strange and it has evolved over time. I think that I kind of crochet backwards. That's the only way I can kind of explain it. So I work from the outside in rather from the inside out, if that makes any sense to anybody. And this is such a small little itty bitty pattern, you probably can't really tell, but that's just how I figured out how to do it. And quite honestly, I don't believe there's any right way or wrong way to crochet if in the end you have the product that you want. So even though it may look kind of awkward, it definitely is different than what you're normally going to see. And if people ask me, you know, how do you do such and such a stitch, I try to do it the way that they would see if they were watching a YouTube tutorial, just so that they can learn it that way without mimicking what I'm doing. Again, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing, it's just a little different. So that may be also why I'm kind of slow. Anyway, this was a lot of fun crocheting and chatting with you. I'm gonna let you guys finish out watching the little penguin come together. He's nearly done. Oh, I will say one more thing about this pattern. Because of all of the color changes, you almost don't need any stuffing. Like, you could just sew this guy up with all of the ends of those yarns inside, and it would be lightly stuffed without any need for any extra stuffing. But I always put a little bit in. I like to stuff them pretty firmly. But anyway, stay tuned to the end and see the other colors of little penguins that I put together with this. And why, by the way, they're way easier than doing it in black and white. And there he is. He's so cute. I am going to have to do a few more in black and white just because this is the classic penguin and I don't have a dark enough gray. But anyway, thank you guys so much for sticking with me. If you made it to the end, put a penguin emoji in the comments. All right, here's some of the other crew that I made. These are just so fun and they do work up pretty quickly. So if you're looking for a tiny little make, check out the Critterlings pack by Poggy's Place. Bye guys!